Hi, my name's Dr. Ted Baumhauer, Red Tie Science Labs. I'm here for Teaching Artist Rock to show you what kind of program I can do for a science program for your school. And today's topic is the boomerang, a very ancient toy. Yeah, it was a toy. And it does a couple of things that people find very interesting. It flies and it actually comes back. So for the science program today, I want to show you and break down why it's doing that. Why does it come back? I want to show you that with a top. Now everyone knows when you throw a top, it's going to spin on its point. But what happens if you put the top on its side and see what happens there when it has a bunch of spin on it? Well, these things happen. We're going to wrap it up again. And we're going to give it another go. Now the top is spinning on its point. What happens when you lay it on its side? It begins to precess around and around till it loses speed. So it's going to go spinning around and around because of the way I threw it. Right hand is going to spin it this way. And you notice when I threw the boomerang out to my right, it came around. Now, if you spin the top the other way, it's just like throwing a boomerang left-handed, it's going to precess around the other way. Now, the boomerang doesn't have a string on it, so why is it going around? Because it has wings and it's in the air. How can we show that? So that's how things fly. And the reason things fly or have lift to them is because there's a wing shape like on this Frisbee. The air is going to hit it when it has a velocity, a speed through the air, and the air molecules are going to hit the front, and they're going to go over the top, and they're going to go under the bottom. Well, when they go over the top, they actually have to go a bit faster to catch up to their buddies that went straight underneath the bottom. And what that does is because of the extra speed up here, it creates just a little bit of area of low air pressure. And because it's lower on the top than it is on the bottom, that would give something lift. You don't believe me? Well, let me show you. So, if we have a hair dryer that's going to shoot out a stream of air and we have a ping pong ball, we can put the ping pong ball in that stream of air and find out what happens. Now, is it going to shoot off and go off into the ceiling? Or is it going to get sucked down because of the airstream that's going over it? Well, it's science. Let's try it and find out. Interestingly enough, it floats in the air. Why would it be floating in the air and get stuck in there? It's not shooting off and it's not getting sucked in. Let me show you with a bigger ball. So what's going on here is that the air is shooting past the ping pong ball on all sides, but because it has to go around the round shape, that's acting a little bit like a wing. And it's creating a little spot right on top of the ping pong ball that is low air pressure. So that's letting the ball sort of float right in place. The airstream is pushing it up. The low air pressure in there is holding it up or allowing it to stay up. And the air shooting by on either side is causing the ball to stay right in the middle of that airstream. So it's not shooting off and away. It's called the Bernoulli Principle. Interesting. So that's what happens on the top of a wing as the airplane goes down the runway. It picks up more and more speed. The air going over the top of the wing has to go faster than the air going over under the bottom of the wing. And so it creates a little bit of air pressure, low air pressure on top of the wing, reducing the pull of gravity so it gives it lift and the airplane can take off or the boomerang can fly. And that makes it float in the air, seemingly to fly. So when you put those two things together, precession, when something's spinning, and when it has air velocity and a wing, you get the amazing boomerang. Now, in the show that I would do in your school, I would scale things up. Instead of using a hairdryer, I would use a leaf blower. I would use a larger ball than even a big ping pong ball, like a big beach ball, and float 1 or 2 or even 3 in the air. So that gives you an idea of the kind of thing that I can do with a science show, taking some of my education that I've gotten as to how to be a teacher, as well as all the circus and variety performing arts skills that I've learned over the years. And one of my favorite things to do is to combine those and to put together presentations that are fun and interesting for everybody. Now, some of the other things I can do other than the aerodynamics is I have a program called the I Can't Yet Show, which involves me doing a show with one teacher who knows how to juggle, and we look at persistence and keeping somebody engaged even though something might be hard to learn. Another show that I do is Reading is Magic. And that I got actually out of doing a program out in Sodus, New York, where I was asked to come in and do a thank you program to the students who went through a reading program. And then I did a show around Reading is Magic, in that it can take you anywhere and you can learn about anything you want to learn about. And I do that also with variety skills. And then in addition to that, with like this program with the boomerangs, I have the option that I could come in either before or after and work with your students with these handouts. They can cut out, this is on cardstock, they can actually cut out this shape, and I can teach them how to make their own boomerangs to have in the classroom or at home. And they can use cereal boxes after they have their template here. One of the things I also like to do is get challenges from schools to put together a program. I was contacted a year or so ago by a school that was doing a program for Dr. Seuss's birthday, and they asked me to do a Dr. Seuss science show. So those are some of the fun things I like to do with the students. I love the challenge. They're always fun and engaging activities, and thank you so much for your time in watching this showcase, and I look forward to working with you and your school, and you can get a hold of me through Teaching Artists Rock, and thank you. Ted Baumhauer, Red Tie Variety.